In the last video, I explained why residential real estate is such a powerful tool for building wealth, highlighting strategic leverage, tax advantages, and reinvesting. Today, I will walk you through the steps to identify cash flow positive single-family homes, secure loans, and screen tenants, all of which can be managed remotely. My approach to acquiring out-of-state rental property is simple and effective, relying on collaboration with a remote team. Property managers play a key role in this process, handling tenant onboarding and lease management. This approach has allowed me to focus on my W-2 job before retirement and now on activities I enjoy. I have broken this topic into 3 sections, which I will cover across 2 videos. First, understanding the finances. Second, selecting the right location and property. Third, building your remote team. This video focuses on understanding the finances, while we will dive into key metrics for evaluating your rental property, such as return on investment. Before we begin, I want to emphasize that I focus exclusively on single-family homes, not commercial properties, townhouses, or condos. While townhouses and condos are residential, they often have limited improvement opportunities, stricter association rules, higher HOA fees, and less privacy. Single-family homes, on the other hand, offer unique advantages, which I discussed in part 1 of my real estate investing series. As I mentioned in the previous video, the main goal in residential real estate investing is to maintain positive cash flow, with appreciation being the bonus. To ensure positive cash flow, let's first look at the typical expenses a rental property can incur and how to calculate cash flow and net income. For example, a house is listed at $300,000. You plan to take a loan for 80% of the appraised value, meaning the lender approves an 80% loan to value ratio. Assuming a 6.5% 30-year fixed rate mortgage, the down payment is 20% of the purchase price, or $60,000. This is your primary initial investment. There are also one-time closing costs, including loan fees, legal fees, agent fees, recording fees, and title fees. We'll go over this in more details. Loan fees may include an application fee and origination fee to process the loan, commitment fee to hold the loan terms for a set period, and points to reduce the interest rate, all paid to the lender. The lender may also order an appraisal, credit report, and legal services from third parties, which are charged back to you as pass-through cost. Lenders often offer points to lower your interest rate. 1 point equals 1% of the loan amount. While this might seem attractive, there's a break-even point to consider. For example, a lender may offer 1 point to reduce the interest rate from 6.8% to 6.5%. On a $240,000 loan, this will lower your monthly payment by $48, meaning it would take 50 months to recover the $2,400 cost of the point. If you expect rates to drop before reaching the break-even point, it might be better to stick with the higher rate and refinance later. 30-year fixed conventional loans are recommended for their lower monthly payments than shorter-term loans. It helps you to maintain positive cash flow. Legal fees are paid to the lawyer for preparing loan documents, reviewing the title search, or complying with local laws as required by the lender. Agent fees are paid as commission to the buyer's agent for finding properties. Recording fees, usually small, are charged by the local county office to record the transaction and ownership transfer. Title fees typically include the title search, which verifies property's ownership and checks for claims or liens, and title insurance for both the lender and owner. Lender's title insurance is mandatory to protect the loan amount in case of title issues. While owner's title insurance is optional, it is highly recommended to protect your investment. These costs are part of the property acquisition and contribute to the cost basis, which is used to calculate the ROI metric. They can be amortized or depreciated, along with the house building value as annual deductions against the rental income. In this example, the total closing cost is $12,000. Sometimes lenders can incorporate closing costs into the loan to reduce the buyer's initial investment. This makes sense only if the loan interest rate is under 4% as it was 2 years ago. I found that 4% is the magic number. Below this rate, the more money you can borrow, the higher your ROI. It's important to compare rates, loan costs, and terms, as differences can significantly impact your cash flow and ROI. I recommend getting quotes from at least 3 different lenders for this reason. Mortgage interest, property management fees, property taxes, home insurance, HOA fees, and minor repairs are operating expenses, essential for maintaining your property. At closing, property taxes are prorated to the scheduled call-off period, typically mid-year or year-end. Similarly, interest is prepaid from the closing day to the first day of the next month. These expenses are incorporated into the cash flow model to calculate the cash flow amount from your rental operation, as shown here. The monthly mortgage payment is calculated using Excel's payment function. Rate, NPER, and PV are 3 variables. The rate is the annual interest rate of 6.5% divided by 12 equals 0.0054. NPER is the total number of payments. 30 years times 12 months equals 360. And PV is the loan amount of $240K. In this model, I'm using 8% of the monthly rent as property management fee. Property tax rates vary significantly, from less than 0.5% in states like Alabama to over 2% in New Jersey. This can influence where you decide to invest. For this model, I'm using 1%. I recommend setting aside 50% of the monthly rent for annual repairs and accounting for a 5% vacancy rate. As shown in the table, the monthly cash flow or spendable cash left after all expenses is $206. While modest, it can grow over time. Refinancing at a lower interest rate can reduce the mortgage payment, and combined with rent increases, it can help you achieve over $500 in monthly cash flow. While tenants pay the expenses through rent, avoid properties with negative cash flow. For example, if the monthly rent falls below $2,200 while other expenses remain the same, cash flow will become negative. Another item to shop around for is landlord insurance, which differs from a typical home insurance. It should cover loss of rent and premises liability or business liability with amount exceeding $500,000 for better protection. The lender will likely require an escrow account to be set up to automatically pay future home insurance and property tax bills. Closing costs may include a category called impounds, which funds the escrow account with a cash reserve. Your mortgage payment will include an additional amount to continue funding this account each month. You do not need to factor this cost into your ROI or cash flow calculations, as the cash in the escrow account remains yours until the bills are paid. Depending on the lender's escrow projections, any overpayment may be refunded to you at year-end. Escrow account statements are typically available on the lender's portal for your reference. If you purchase a new construction home, developers often offer incentives to cover part or all of the closing costs as a credit. Large national developers may also provide lower interest rate loans than the market, so be sure to take advantage of these offers. Net income is the sum of cash flow and principal payments. The principal is the portion of your mortgage payment that builds equity in the house. While it is not spendable cash, it becomes accessible when you sell or refinance a property. Since the principal isn't paid to the lender, it is included as a part of your earnings when calculating ROI. For simplicity, I used a formula to estimate the average monthly principal payment for the first 5 years. Mortgage payment minus monthly interest times 1.1, resulting in an amount of $239. Finally, return on investment is calculated by dividing the annual net income by the total investment cost of acquiring the property, including the down payment and non-operating closing costs. In this example, the annual net income is $5,400. Dividing this by the total investment of $72,000, resulting in an ROI of 7.4%. Avoid properties with a ROI under 5%. Don't overanalyze the data or spending excessive time projecting returns, as many calculations are based on assumptions. You will only start making money once you purchase the house. Finding properties that meet these financial criteria can be challenging if you live in places with high real estate prices and relatively low rent, such as the greater Boston area in Massachusetts. That's why buying out-of-state properties opens up many more opportunities. In the next episode, I will cover how to select the right location and specific properties to invest in, as well as how to build your remote team to help you close the deal and manage your rental operations. Thank you for watching.